Shalom to all the Jews and Gentiles alike, sending a strong shalom to the children of light. Namaste to all. You already know what the deal is. We give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, our power, Yahuwah Hosenu, Yahuwah Sabaoth, Yahuwah Shamayim, Anu Kased, Wakanda, Hawa, the Great Spirit, the All Parents, through the Earthly Mother. Acknowledgement to our elder brother, Yahushua, Hamashiach, 𝐁𝐨𝐤𝐬 the Lamb, Yesiah, the Messiah, Yahusha, the Lion from the tribe of Yehuda, the one the world calls Jesus Christ. So brethren, today we're going to be going deep today. We're going to be going deep into the spiritual science of centropy. Now you're probably wondering, what in the world is centropy? Centropy is the electrification of matter. I don't know if you're watching some of them shows, especially them anime shows, where the dudes on there, they be charging up, right? They whole body electrified. Okay, that's all real. That's all real. That's why they put this in these cartoons, these animes, these TV shows, and they basically telling you the truth, and they try to pass it off as fiction. Okay, but follow me today. Okay, it's not gonna be your basic discussion here. Okay, we about to get deep, so stay with me. So we're gonna be going into the book of knowledge, the keys of Enoch, and we starting at key 104, page 38, verse 31. In order to put man into the building blocks of pyramidal geometries, triangular coordinates, and pyramids of light, we have this key in the consciousness of light. Centropy is the electrification of matter, specifically in a material function, light being the highest amplification of centropy. In our mind, light functions by masers or microwave amplification, by stimulated emissions of radiation. This is projected through photoneurons, which are quantum mechanistic corpuscles of light, working by means of photon amplification. All photons are in step. That is, they are reinforced in the same frequency which modulates mental energy into physical energy. Now, essentially, this knowledge can be used to find the formula which will explain how light creates the quanta corpuscles of light in the brain, allowing the brain to work as it does like a computer. So sometimes you might be at work and you go in the back and you hit the fridge, right? You touch the handle on the fridge, you get that little shot, right? Or sometimes you might touch a coworker or touch somebody else, you get that shot. Or sometimes, like your brain, your head, it just be getting that electric feel from top to bottom. Cause I was listening to like some Om, the Om meditation, and like my brain, my head from top down was just like, it was electrified. And we gonna see later that the divine names, right? The meditation, the music, all that's gonna help, and all that correlates together. Now, what is the opposite of centropy? Let's find out. This is the definition of entropy: a measure of the capacity of a system to realize work, The increase in entropy in a process can be thought of as the system's loss of capacity for doing work. Second definition, the measure of decay and the degeneration of matter and energy, opposed to centropy, the electrification of matter and energy. So entropy is the opposite of centropy. So see entropy as negative and centropy as positive. Now let's go to key 111, verse 12. Through the wave harmonics set in motion by the mantras. And we talked about mantras before, right? We got the one that we see in the keys, right? 𝐭𝐡𝐢𝐬 𝐭𝐡𝐢𝐬 Adonai Sabaoth. Right? That's a mantra right there, right? Whatever mantra you got, right? Mantras help. Positive thought formations can be shared with selected points of communication. These thought forms can be used to offset the negative PSI grid structure of consciousness control, which keeps the creativity of man locked into limited three-dimensional consciousness attunement, right? That's that entropy right there. All right, keeping you stuck, right? So when you want to go to the club and you want to get drunk, you want to buy these drinks for these chicks over here, you want to sleep around, that's entropy right there, right? You stuck. All right, verse 13, along with the sacred names, and we're going to talk more about the sacred names, special breathing techniques of induction are used to penetrate into the very consciousness of the names and to maintain a certain vibratory control over the psychochemical process. In a single intake, you absorb life, breath, nourishment, health, vigor, and the necessary conditioning to journey into the eternity with special masters of the Father. The breathing passes through levels of sound and color, representing light energy at different levels of excitation, whereby the participant experiences the flame growing brighter and brighter until he notices outlines of beings of light moving back and forth. The warmth and radiant tongues of flame unfold the garment of the Father into us and become the efflorescence of his love. The light grows until the flame within knows no fear, but feels the excitement of his divine love. The sacred names also create the vehicle of light, which allows us to travel through the vibrations of the mind so that we can enter into the consciousness minds of those who have fallen asleep in the worlds between this world and the higher throne worlds of Yahuwah. Now let's go to the first light picture superscript. All right, we about to go to verse 173. Centropy, not entropy, but centropy, was the key to activate the interplay of gravity and magnetism at this earliest stage of our universe's manifestation, and plays a principal role in the beginnings of life. Let's say that again real quick. It plays a principal role in the beginnings of life. All right, so centropy plays a big role in all of this. And again, we're going to see how that ties in with consciousness. Just like how we talked about consciousness last video, this is just to build upon what we talked about in the last video. Now let's go to the third light picture superscript. We're going through superscripts today. Verse 256. Light and DNA are two processes by which the divine names operate through our three-dimensional universe, and they reveal why there can be a consciousness override anywhere the electromagnetic field exists. Even in states of sleep, light can match our mental wavelength fields in the brain to input directly new information codes. So if you a dreamer, right, you can get them downloads from the other side. All right, but let me just give y'all some sacred names. Okay, just kind of give y'all some. Okay, and it don't gotta be these specifically. All right. So there's 𝐻𝐸 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐠𝐫𝐚𝐦 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐿. And you don't gotta use those specifically. There are other ones that you can use. All right. So let's go to verse 259. Specifically, the mind or consciousness itself can transfer information via light, not only by chemical interactions within the brain, but also light interactions whereby the mind's images are given variables or extensions of information. And as light is also a field that operates beyond space-time, the mind is not limited to perceive events only here and now, but can experience events that are in the past, present, or future, or taking place multi-dimensionally. So again, we gotta understand that we are multi-dimensional beings. I don't know if you watch the the Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse, where if you remember at the beginning of the movie, he was having that dream, or wasn't really a dream, and it was like another him from somewhere else. Okay, and that also ties in with the overself as well, but that's something a bit more deeper. But just to kind of show you that these movies, these TV shows that they try to pass off as fiction, it got truth to it. And the reason is because these Gentiles, these other nations, have had these scriptures for a while now. And they know this stuff, and they put it in entertainment. Let's go to verse 281. Therefore, it takes a higher consciousness to reverse the entropy. I'm gonna say that again. Let's start from the top again. Therefore, it takes a higher consciousness to reverse the entropy between ourselves and our surroundings. It takes a moving into direct alignment within universal energy fields of light connected with higher intelligence. The divine names as geometry, frequencies, and consciousness awareness bring forth the power of centropy. Without the higher consciousness field, we become entrapped in a entropic order. The entire universe is consciousness. Let's go over it again. The entire universe is consciousness. Matter is only an experience of consciousness, not the other way around, which ensures humanity's continual existence within the higher evolution. The divine names help our consciousness mind become aware of its greater power and direct our mind into higher experience with the dimensions of light. Entropy and asymmetries are what bring disorder, and in turn varied alterations of the orderings of creation. The entropic structure inherent in most creation of light versus dark is because of the limitations of matter, and because light has been separated from consciousness and from the higher light encodings. It requires the work of centropy brought forth by the orders of 𝐯𝐬𝐬, which is the creator of the inner light, and Metatron, the creator of the outer light, with the other orders of light to prevent pseudo-qualitative information from corrupting the processes by providing multi-levels of discernment through direct sensory input that we can have with multi-dimensions of information coming through the multi-V configuration of light over our heads. Without the work of the orders of light, access to light information within the trees of creation would be blocked or placed on the lower rungs of the branches by lesser hierarchies, thereby overriding the original code structure in the lower worlds. So now let's get into sound and music and how important this all ties together, because mainstream media and the world, they like pushing these negative sounds and frequencies on you. All right, so let's get into it. This is verse 310. Vibrational frequencies as musical notes construct our song of creation. The earth itself generates frequencies as understood in the Schumann resonance pattern of about 7.4 to 7.8 hertz. And we're about to see more about the Schumann resonance. But there are many frequencies that are naturally generated, as well as artificially generated, to which our bodies are continually exposed. So not just our minds, but also our bodies are sensitized to frequencies and sound wave vibrations that are ultimately harmonized with the earth and higher planes of spiritual experience. Light frequencies can augment the sound wave field, whereby we can experience the harmonic that reaches from one plane to multiple or hyperplanes, encoding various degrees of knowledge for the initiate. Ultimately, the divine name or names provide the proper frequencies as well as the thought form linkages to open the true inner and outer gateways to bring us into greater realities where we can experience the Lords of Light. With this, we also understand how the power of the sacred names vibrates with those who share in divine virtues in order to harmonize the divine link between the similitude and the image through the power of Yah. Now let's go to the 6th light picture superscript. Thou shalt be the word. And let's go to verse 308. Simply put, besides our human brainwaves, beta, alpha, theta, and delta, the cells in the brains of animals and human beings create synaptic connections, allowing the vibrations of frequencies to produce altered states of consciousness. For the alpha and theta states of consciousness, we can find these higher states of consciousness experience to be like a series of vibrations or waves diffused within cellular structures which can alter our state of being. Yet, also in the beta and delta states, we can receive insights and experiences based upon higher levels of information from our overself or from the messengers of the divine. So there's this YouTube channel by the name of Frequency Plus, and they got all of the theta, the alpha, the beta, raw frequencies that you can go and you can listen to. All right, you can just turn one on, click on one of them joints, and you can just sit and just listen, or you can do it while you read, you study, you meditate, whatever you doing, right? So the frequencies, the sounds is very, very important, right? You definitely want to stay away from that gang music, you know what I'm saying? You know, money, sex, getting drunk, you know what I'm saying? All that type of frequencies, the hertz that Hollywood be putting that at. Listen, you don't want to be listening to that 24/7. Now let's go to the 7th light picture superscript. Thou shalt be the witness. Verse 170. We already know that alpha, theta frequency waves are ideal for meditation, moving the mind to quietude and even sleep. That is, the principal frequency that puts the mind into a state of meditation, calmness, intuition, and spiritual awareness is in the alpha and theta hertz frequency range, which is inherent in our brain wave patterns. And as you can see here down the bottom, right in the orange here, we got the delta waves for deep sleep, the theta waves for dreams and deeper awareness. We got the alpha waves for contemplative awareness. We got the beta waves for mental activity and perception. Then we got the gamma waves, right? Cognition and peak concentration. All right. Let's go up to 173. Thus, the alpha theta state is key to opening our minds through meta states of meditation where the still small voice can become known. Now, that still small voice, you know when people say, "Oh, I know, something just told me not to do that." Right? That's that still small voice. Right? That's that still small voice from the other side trying to contact you. It is interesting that around the earth there is also a 7.5 to 8 hertz frequency called the Schumann resonance, or the Schumann wave resonance created by the Earth's ionospheric cavity, to which most life on Earth is exposed on a regular basis. Specifically, the Schumann resonance is created by quasi-standing electromagnetic waves that exist and are created between the Earth and the lower portions of the ionosphere, where a resonant cavity is created for electromagnetic waves by lightning strikes in the region. Although the very presence, observationally, of the Schumann resonance does not influence our thoughts, it does play a significant role in our brain's harmony and our ability to create a peaceful environment within ourselves. Now let's go back to the 6th light picture superscript. We're going to go to 319. Our lives are elevated by a reconnection with the divine source, which becomes as a synergistic symphonic language of light. Now, for those that don't know what the language of light is, we did a video about it a while back. And basically, the language of light is telepathy. So as the consciousness is increasing, we slowly gonna get back to telepathy, because that's how it was in the beginning. All right. So the symphonic language of light that displays soundscapes, which are full of musical intonations. This builds and builds within ourselves a greater sense of renewed being. However, it is up to us to sustain this state of mind each day by organizing the powers of attunement, using sacred names along with prayer and or meditation. That is, one can use an active feedback system of sacred names or a passive feedback system of inspiring music to accelerate the state of the body into a supra-rational vessel of profound inner experience. Now let's go back to verse 293. Living centropy thus prevails over entropy as a musical symphony of positive vibrations which can rush to the body as the human spirit bears witness of the Holy Spirit. and the Holy Spirit bears witness of the awakened human soul. Together, they manifest a union with the divine, where the energies collect into a light body with powers of transformation for a rebirth and a new genesis. Thoughts become powerful creations, which becomes words and language that emanate down to human levels, structured to receive information for the opening and coordination of all 7 seals / chakras simultaneously, because the 7 seals or the 7 chakras. Through practices of deep meditation combined with music, prayer, and linguistic cues, producing states of higher consciousness, a harmonic field is generated that elevates the coherence of cerebral waves into a universal interconnectedness with the divine mind. So let's go back to the third light picture superscript. So as the consciousness increase, the electrification of matter can take place. Let's go to 385. Planetary consciousness and geophysical changes continue to this day to be recorded and beamed out as information. There are numerous vortex areas around the Earth, and most have a deeper history that has long been forgotten because of the planetary disruptions that took place in ancient times on a vibratory level, especially in the vortex regions. Originally, the causal reality and the hyperplane reality were united as one, especially in the sacred contact areas of the world, which comprise the all-important linkage, the space-time overlap, for our 3-dimensional realm. However, at a time in the past, experiments that were carried out upon the Earth and the local heavens began to separate the vibrations of the mind and spirit, creating divisions in the consciousness field that was once in unity. This was due to irresponsible experiments that took place, especially in various sacred areas all over Mother Earth. As a result, the consciousness of humanity, and when we speaking on humanity, we speaking on the Adam Cadmon race that came to Earth, because what you gotta understand is Adam and Eve, they were light beings, right? So when you get a high vibrational being and they drop, they become matter. It becomes flesh, right? So they fell to a lower level of awareness without visual and sound perceptions that would enhance life and provide the movements of spiritual thought to keep the human race in balance. In a sense, it created not only a physical loss, but a consciousness loss. Consciousness loss is the most degenerating, because without the higher activation of the thought forms, humanity is cut off from its roots of consciousness. So when you overindulge in the things of the world and thinking about the things of the world and trying to get that Lambo or trying to impress that chick, right? Or behind behind the counter, right? Those are all worldly thoughts. See, that's the type of stuff is going to keep you dense. That's going to keep you in that lower consciousness field. 391. After these events, many of the brotherhoods and sisterhoods of light sought to return to help humanity and went to more remote areas such as the Bermuda Triangle, the Arctic, and the highest continent of the world, Antarctica, to establish subsurface listening stations. So I don't know if you know this, but Antarctica used to be a civilization. All right. And now that we going into this electromagnetic null zone, this space-time overlap right now, this shift that's occurring, it's starting to melt. Greenland melting. Okay. The ice caps in Antarctica is melting. See, the other nations say, oh, it's climate change and this and that and the third. Nah, they don't. See, they don't know what's going on. They say climate change this, global warming this. Nah. You see, the things that we reading in the keys and in these superscripts is aligning with what's going on right now. All right, so check this out, right? It's on Fox 13 Seattle. Solar superstorm could wipe out the internet for weeks, scientist says. And this is recent. This is November 9th. All right. So let's look another one real quick. And this is what's causing the northern lights too. All these solar flares, the sun just going crazy right now because the earth is about to cleanse itself. Okay, we about to go through a pole shift. It's about to be crazy right now. All right, take a look at this. Geomagnetic storm to spark auroras. Radio blackouts on Earth soon. This was from November 11th. This is recent right here. This is recent. Let's get a precept in the 7th light picture superscript. This is 182. According to Enoch, solar storms will actually increase as major planetary changes are coming, although this has taken place in the past as well. Right? So it's about to happen again. And this go round, oh, this the last one. So there ain't no time to be out here playing around and thinking, oh, you gonna be here forever. You gonna make your money. You gonna live deliciously. You gonna rack up money to get your Porsche, your Lambo, right? Going to the club, living life like how it was before 2019. Nah, this place is getting shut down. And it all ties in with consciousness. And they not gonna stop this awakening. They not gonna stop. That's why they scared right now. That's why they trying to get control over the masses. They trying to get more control because they panicking because time running out. Right? You see the stuff that's going on right now with the earth, with the sun. See, the things that are happening right now, it ain't nothing to play with. It ain't nothing to play with. All right, so let's go to the keys. Let's go to key 204, verse 11. We are going into a different membrane program at this time. This new program requires that the genetics of man function on a higher wavelength of light. See, if you can't shift with the shift, then hey, you just got to get sent to another sun universe and repeat school all over again. In order to accomplish this, the Brotherhood of Light is accelerating the entire system of human biorhythms to enter a less dense spectrum of matter energy. Less dense spectrum of matter energy. See, when you eat meat, you're eating the steak, the beef, the chicken. So you becoming more dense. Right? You having thoughts of the world. Want to get that Lambo, want to get that Porsche. Making you dense. The Brotherhood of Light is changing the electromagnetic density so that the electrification of matter prepares man for the doming of his overself body. We are going directly into a new star threshold with a new magnetic vibration, which is changing the whole nuclear membrane on this planet. Now let's go to key 304, verse 2. A new source of light is now reaching our solar system and interpenetrating Earth's magnetic field, altering the biological rhythms. This is forcing the species, which is you, to leave behind its old time cell of perception on the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual levels. This must take place before the species can go into a new time cell of consciousness with a unified perception. Verse 20. In order for man to work with the next electron orbital level of the universal mind, our molecular density level will have to become less dense and grow more transparent in order to participate in multi-dimensional realities. So as the consciousness increase, the centropy, the electrification of matter, can start doing its thing, matched with all the stuff that's going on right now with the earth, the hurricanes, the earthquakes, the solar flares increasing. Our bodies start changing, the earth is changing. We working with the higher intelligence at this time, right? There's that partnership that's going on. And so this whole realm can get upgraded from a son universe to a father universe. And that new heaven and that new earth can come in. All right, so let me just get one more precept real quick. All right. See, anybody that's awake right now, they ain't worried about this place, okay? We not caring about the things of the world, the matters of the flesh, right? Ain't nobody worried about that, cause that's all about to come to a close, and this whole place about to get transformed and upgraded. Okay, so for things to change, things gotta get destroyed, and that's just how the way it is, right? See, people of the world, they see it as a negative thing. They see it as, oh well, their society is over, and see, and that's how the Gentiles look at it as. Their society is over. The reign is done. See, they not gonna be happy when this whole place come down. They not gonna be happy. But that's how the way it is. Right? So let's go to key 304. And we're gonna go to verse 54. Is man thus to await the total destruction of the planet? God forbid. What the Father has ordained, he beckons into renewed creation through the return of the masters, the higher intelligences, the angels, the brotherhood of light, all right, the Ophanim, the seraphim, who will set their feet upon the planet in order to assist man in the work of recreation. All right, that was a cherry on top. That's gonna be pretty much it for this video, for this lesson. Hopefully you got something out of it, learned something new, had something to snack on, went into the pantry, closet, got you a snack, munching, right? Had you some dinner, all right, some spiritual food for the soul. And that's it for this video. I say shalom and stay strong.